Dabbling with Dan. Today Dan is dabbling in a brake job on a 2004 Ford F-150, and I went ahead and put rotors on and brake calipers on because everything was old and everything was sticking. But I wanted to share with you something that I learned yesterday. So I went to the auto parts store and I asked the employee, I said, I need a brake caliper for the driver's side front tire. So the employee went ahead and typed some stuff in the computer, went ahead to the back, got a box and brought it up to me, and I paid for it, came home and installed it, and that's what you see right here. Well, then a friend of mine, Jim, which you might see here a little bit later, him and I then attempted to bleed the braking system, and we couldn't get any air out. And we were kind of like, that's surprising, because we know that we probably had some air in that brake line. Well, I was so puzzled, I got on the YouTube and I found a mechanic that kind of said, hey, check for these two things. And let me show you what I discovered. Oh, before we move on, don't forget over there in that corner, there's a subscribe button. Give it a push. Leave a comment. This is interesting. Hope you guys learn from this one. Okay, so fun fact. This caliper is actually for the passenger side. It will fit. And when I took off the old one, the mistake that I made is I didn't compare the two. Okay, so that's one thing you should do, is whenever you get a part, compare it. Now, if you can look at this, this is the brake line coming into the caliper, and this is the bleed where you would open it up to let the air out. And if you notice one thing, it's below, it's on the low part of the caliper. Well, just think about this. Air rises, right? So this needs to be up here, not down there, so that when you do bleed the air out, it comes out the top. So let me go ahead and show you the proper one on the passenger side. This is the proper one for this side of the vehicle. As you see, the bleed nipple is at the top. That will allow you to bleed the system. So, lesson learned, and I'm going to go ahead and put this on and then bleed this system, and this brake job should be done. Okay. Learn from my mistakes, everybody. All right. It looks good, but it don't work. The first step we're going to do is I'm going to remove this center cap, and then we're going to go ahead and jack the truck up. Tires off the ground. Got a secondary support tire wedge in the back so it doesn't slide. (13/16) remove the lug nuts. Go ahead and bring you guys over this way so you can see a little bit better. Now the nice thing about this is we don't have to take everything off. So we do have to remove a few things here. I'm going to use this little rope to tie off here on the upper arm of this. And this will help support this as I remove it. These are 13 millimeters. some awesome instruction from behind here. All right, so there's ABS line here that connects with these little clips. It's good to disconnect that to give you more mobility and moving this around so you don't break this plastic line. Oh, yeah. Oh, here, that's another thing. Hey, we discovered this yesterday. This is a vacuum line right here for your four-wheel drive, and I accidentally pulled this out, and that sounded terrible. So don't do that. Learn from my mistakes. All right, now hopefully this will come off pretty easily. This is only about the 6th time. I'll use a lug nut here and just put it on to kind of keep that rotor from moving around. I'm going to go ahead and use this rope, and I'm going to go ahead and put it through this hole here where the bolt was so it won't fall down and damage any of the lines. Come on, baby. There we go. Again, I'm going to tie this up out of the way. This mounting bracket will come off, but we're going to leave it on because it's brand new. Now we're going to put our new caliper on for the proper driver's side. The way it gets installed. And I'm going to go ahead and use some bolts, and I'm going to put some blue Loctite on it. Let's go ahead and install that. Okay, this bolt with the copper washers is 26 foot-pounds. Let's go ahead and torque that down to spec. There we go. And okay, these are 13 millimeters, and we're going to torque them down to the same torque. There we go. Okay. And that is it. All except now it's time to bleed. Hopefully successfully, right, Jim? And what we're going to do, Jim's going to hook up a line, and I'm going to pump the brakes. Tell me when. It went all the way to the floor. I'm still pumping. Hold on. Okay. Went to almost to the floor. All the way to the floor. Okay. There you go. All the way to the floor. Okay. All the way to the floor. I'm pumping. Hold on. I'm pumping. All right. All the way to the floor. Okay. To the floor. All right. Let go. Oh, yeah. I got brakes. Now, question. Thanks, Jim. So, This is the power steering reservoir, and we did lose some level. So this is the high max level. So let's go ahead and fill this back up. It's a .3. All right, that's to the max. And that is almost wrapped. I'm gonna go ahead and put the tire back on. Show you how to do that here in just a second. You may not remember, but earlier I put a lug nut on there to keep that rotor kind of flush. I'll go ahead and remove that because you cannot put a tire on with that on. I'm going to remove the jack stand that I have for safety and then lower this onto the ground. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining me. Don't forget over there in that corner, there's a subscribe button. And this is how you go ahead and replace your brakes for the 6th time on the Dabblin' Dan channel. Jim's over there watching. Jim, thanks for your help. Got the salute. See you next time.